This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So I'll repeat, I think some people joined late. So good morning once again. So today we will start with a session on continuation with respect to yesterday's topic, which is constant pointers. Then we'll maybe cover some of the basic concepts of pointers. Then we'll move on to more advanced topics, which is void pointer and function pointers. So yeah, I'll take up some questions which you have. So Dwan has a question. Const keyword should ensure that value of a location doesn't change. So why is it allowed using pointers? Any particular reason? Yeah, this is a very good question, in fact. So maybe I'll show you with an example here. Let me share my screen. Quiz discussion also we can do, but what I felt was in the quiz, the questions was relatively straightforward, and I checked the scores. So the average score was like kind of like 70% out of 100, right? People scored good marks in scored well in yesterday's quiz because the quiz was straightforward, I believe, and many of you I think scored 100% for the quiz, which is good to know that you understood the concepts. So today also we'll have a quiz, but if you have any specific questions, maybe you can ask Shivraj for the quiz. That's what I would recommend, because the answers are also visible, right? So once you take up the test, you can see the answers, isn't it? The correct choices, can you see in the options? Yeah, you can see the correct choices also. In case you have any questions with respect to yesterday's quiz, you can ask specific questions. That's what I feel. So we're discussing about constant pointers yesterday. Let me open up another program. By the way, one question I have, typically when you write a main function, if you see main is returning integer, right? And we return 0 from main. Why do we do that? What is the significance of it? What does return 0 indicate from main? Yeah, successful termination of program. Exit status of the program. True. Tapan, yeah. Duan, yeah, that's right. For successful termination. So what does non-zero value indicate? Zero indicates success, non-zero indicates failure, right? So failure, that's what it means. So only one value indicates success, all other values indicates failure. So typically you have to use only positive values to indicate failure, right? You can return 1 or return 2, etc. Do not use negative values for returning from main. Negative values have some other significance. What is the other way to terminate a program? So one way to terminate a program is main function returns. What is the other way to terminate a program? Yeah, exit, right? You call exit function can be used to terminate a program. So these are two ways a program terminates normally, right? These are normal termination. Abnormal termination can happen. For example, what are the examples of abnormal termination? When does a program terminate abnormally? Yeah, seg fault, right? Program crashes basically. So when a program crashes because of segmentation fault or divide by 0, it's called abnormal termination. Now let me define a constant pointer, const int star ptr. Okay, and int x equal to 10. I defined a variable x as a pointer ptr, right, is equal to ampersand x. Yeah, killing through signal, that's also true. Stack overflow, these are all valid, basically reasons for abnormal termination. The question which how do I call you? Duan Roy De Silva, what's your like calling name? Which name should I call you? Duane. Okay, Duane, that's your name. Okay. So Duane's question is, can we do this? Is this allowed? Right? So that's the question. Can we change x is the question. Yes or no? I'm getting many answers. Rupa, Asha are answering no. Sohan, no. I'm getting answers. Yes. Also from Narendra, Pavani, Stebi, Ashraf. Okay. Tirumalai, answer is yes. So it's allowed actually. Okay. So please understand. Okay. Now we need to check why it's allowed, right? So the question is x declared as constant? Is the question. So line number 3, int x is equal to 10, right? Is x declared as constant? No, x is not declared as constant, right? X is not declared as constant. So can we change x or not? Let's assume this line is not there. Okay, let's assume the constant pointer declaration is not there. So we can change x. There is no constraint which says that x cannot be changed, right? Now the doubt comes, or question comes, what if I do this, right? Const int star ptr is equal to ampersand x. Now here we know that star ptr is constant, right? Does it mean, so does it mean x is also constant? No. Okay, so it doesn't mean x is also constant. So when you are defining a const variable, you are specifically telling star ptr is constant. So we are instructing the compiler that yeah, star ptr is constant. So it's not okay to change star ptr. If you try to change star ptr, the compiler will throw an error telling that you're trying to change star ptr because you defined it like that. Now it doesn't imply that whatever basically variable the ptr is pointing to, that does not become constant. So star ptr is constant does not mean x is also constant, because you did not put a const keyword for x. Now maybe to make this much more clear, let me do this. Okay, I define something like this. I'm doing this, right? So can I declare const int star ptr? What does ptr contain by default if it's not initialized? Any variable, if it's not initialized, what does it contain? garbage because it's a local variable, right? If it's a global variable, if it's a global pointer, what does it contain? 0, right? 0 is nothing but null pointer. Now, in this case, line number 4, PTR is not pointing anywhere, right? Can I do this? Is it allowed? No, it's not allowed actually. So what type of error will you get? Compilation error or runtime error? Okay, I'm getting both answers. I'm getting compilation error, warning, runtime error. More of compilation error, that's what I'm getting. True. Okay. You'll get error as compilation error. Why it's compilation error? Is it a syntactical error or semantical error? So Nasruddin says it's semantic. Stebby, Amol, yeah, Kavya, we are breaking the rule here, right? We are breaking the rule. So it's a semantic error. So this has nothing to do with runtime error because during compilation, compiler sees that you are violating a rule here. What is the rule we are violating? Constant pointer cannot be changed, right? So it's a semantic error. So this throws compilation error. So let me compile this code for now. Okay, let me compile it. Let's see on which line number we get an error. GCC, compile it. You can see the error, right? It's clearly showing that error assignment of read-only location star PTR. So star PTR is constant here. We cannot change star PTR. You get a compilation error. So there is no question about runtime here, right? So we cannot change. This is invalid operation. This is invalid. Now X is there. Does X have any relationship with star PTR here? No, right? We are not stored the address of X inside inside PTR, so there is no relationship. So please understand, we are applying this semantic rule on star PTR. So it's the job of the compiler to check whether star PTR is changing or not. Compiler will not check whether X is changing, assuming that PTR contains address of X. That's not the rule here. The rule does not say X cannot be changed. Rule says that star PTR cannot be changed. X is a normal variable. X can be changed directly using its name. Now, if you don't want to change X, you have to make X as constant, right? Which we not done here. So this program, let's say comment this. Now I will compile this. The question is, will the program compile? Can you do X is equal to 25? Right? Here I am changing X. Is this allowed? Yes, it's allowed, right? Let's compile this. GCC. You can see here the program compiles because we didn't break any rule here. X you can change. So we briefly discussed about const in star PTR and const star const PTR. Two methods are there. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. What if integer x is constant and the pointer is not constant? Then can we do star PTR equal to 50?
Maybe I'll rewrite the code. Okay, let me. Okay, so basically you're trying to update a variable which is constant using a pointer, right? That's the question. Right. So question is, let's say,
So remove the const keyword.
yeah, it's not constant. So can we do this? So will this work is the question, right? Will it work or not? So first question I have is, are we breaking any semantic rule here? Is the semantics fine here? Are we breaking any rule? No, right? Because PTR is declared as a normal pointer, we can change star PTR. You're not violating any rule. But will this program compile and run? Let me print it. Printf x is equal to %d x. Will it compile and run, or will it throw a runtime error? I'm getting answers. Error, runtime error, runtime error. Are you sure? You'll get a runtime error. Dwayne says it will run successfully. Everybody else says it is okay. Error. Some Asha says no error. Pavani says no error. Karthi says error. Read only variable. Okay. Akshita says it will compile, but runtime error. We have to remove ampersand before x. Right? No, it's fine. So if let's say we get a runtime error, right? X, we are trying to change x, which is constant. So const keyword is a keyword which instructs the compiler that x is constant. Programmer should not change x directly. That's what it means. So if a programmer try to change x, it will give a compilation error. Now let me compile this. Code. It's giving a warning here, right? So compiler is suspecting something here. What is it suspecting? It's telling that okay, you are storing address of x, which is a integer variable, into a pointer. Now what is wrong in this? Is there anything wrong? Is there anything wrong here? If you see syntactically, there is nothing wrong here, but observe that x is a constant. X is a constant, and you cannot change x directly. But can we change x indirectly? Is it possible to change x indirectly using star PTR? Yes, right? We can change x indirectly using star PTR. That's what compiler is telling. Okay, now see here, you have defined a variable x, which you are not supposed to change because you have marked it as constant. But you are trying to do something tricky here. What is the tricky thing you're trying to do? you are trying to create a pointer which contains address of a constant variable and you're trying to change it. So compiler is suspecting something wrong here, something fishy here. Okay, do you want to do this? Do you want to change x using PTR? So typically, if we have a constant integer variable, then you can change the value of PTR by doing this. Let me run this code. Let me run it. It's compiled. Let me run it. What is the value of x here? 50. It works, right? We did not change x directly, but we changed the value of x indirectly using a pointer. That is the reason compiler gave a warning telling that if you're doing something wrong here, you can change x using PTR because PTR points to x. Now the question we need to ask here is why we did not get a segmentation fault, right? Because x is read only. Why do you think we did not get a segmentation fault here? Where are read-only variables stored? In which segment read-only variables are stored? I'm getting many wrong answers here. Read-only variables are not stored inside data segment. What is stored inside data segment? Correct answer is code segment, right? Read-only variables are stored inside code segment. So to understand what is the reason this program works, that segment diagram should be very clear. So I'll just revise the segments related concept here. So we have 3 segments, right? Code segment, data segment, BSS. We know this, right? So code segment, what does it contain? Instructions. Tell me, apart from instructions. Apart from instructions, what does it contain in code segment? Instructions and read-only data. Okay, instructions and read-only data. That's true, right? And read-only data. Can everybody be on mute? Bharati, can you be on mute? Today, Bharati, you have to press mute button. Yeah. So instructions plus you will have 2 things. Constant strings will be there. Plus you'll also have constant global variable. Okay, so these 2 things will be there apart from code. Instruction plus constant strings plus constant global variables. Now constant strings, what does constant string mean? For example, if I do const char star s is equal to hello. Here hello is a constant string, right? Constant string will get stored inside code segment. Similarly, constant global variables are also stored inside code segment. In data segment, we have global and static variables. Okay, we discussed that. Okay. Now question comes, what about constant local variables? Where are they stored? So any local variable, right? If it's not static, will get stored inside stack segment. So let me expand this. So we have code segment, we have data segment, we have BSS. So this is a.out. This resides in your disk, right? This is called as a program. Now, as soon as you run the program, it gets loaded to RAM. So when it gets loaded to RAM, all these segments are copied to RAM as is, right? And BSS we know is initialized to 0. Apart from this, 2 more segments are added. What are the 2 more segments that are added? One is the stack segment, other is the heap segment. Stack segment is created at runtime, right? So this contains your stack frames, which also includes local variables. And constant local variables are also stored here, right? If it's local, if it's not static, right? If it's static, it goes to data segment. If it's not static, it goes to stack segment. So your constant local variable is also stored here. Even constant local variables are also stored here. Is this clear, this picture? So stack segment is not read only. Which segment is read only? Code segment is read only, right? Stack segment is not read only. So what happens if we try to change read only data? If we try to change read only data, what happens? You will get a segmentation fault, error you'll get. But non-read only segments, if we change, will you get any error? For example, data segment if I change, right? BSS if I change, stack I change, heap I change, will we get any error? No, we will not get any error. So I can access a location using its address, and I can change it using a pointer, right? Using a pointer, I can change anything inside BSS. I can change anything inside data segment. You can also change anything inside stack and heap. But this is read only. So you cannot change this segment, right? Read only segment cannot change, but all these can be changed. They are read write. So anything inside stack you can change. Anything inside heap you can change, and so on. Now let me switch back to the program. So question is, where is X stored? X in which segment? Is it in code segment? Is it constant global or constant local? It's constant local, right? So it's stored inside stack. Please understand this. X is stored in stack. It's created at runtime. It's not created at compile time. Okay? X is stored inside stack. That is the reason this works. Changing stack. Okay. So star PTR is equal to 50. In fact, we are just changing the location in line number 7. It will work. It will not throw any error at runtime. Okay, that is the reason. Vamsi, Eluri, these are all hacks. It's not recommended to do that. In star PTR is equal to in star ampersand of X. Okay, you're trying to basically have a workaround. That's not recommended. One question, okay, I have is, okay, char array is equal to hello. If it's char array is equal to hello, yeah, hello will get stored inside the array. And if you define a local array, it gets stored inside the stack. If you define a global array, it gets stored inside data segment. It is never stored inside code segment. Okay, maybe I can talk about the difference between char pointer and char array later. Now, I hope this code is clear, right? Let me copy this again. I'll save it as global integer constant. Modify this code. What do you think? Will this work now? I modified it. I made x as global. Where is x stored? Which segment is x stored? If it's not constant, it gets stored inside data segment, right? Since it's a constant global variable, where is it stored? This picture, which I explained now. So just now I told you something. What is stored inside code segment? Constant global variables are stored inside code segment. So that's why it's read only. Segment is read only. Okay, variable is also read only, but the segment, whole segment is also read only. Now, will the code compile? Yes, code will compile, but this will lead to a time error, right? Code segment. So X is stored inside code segment because X is global constant. Okay, global constants are stored inside code segment, and code segment is read only. It's not stored inside data segment. You need to understand this. Okay, constant global variables, at least in GCC, it's not stored inside data segment. It's stored inside code segment. Now let's compile this. You'll not get any issues during compilation. This is for printf. Let me put a hash include std.h. We'll get a warning here, definitely. You'll definitely get a warning because compiler knows that okay, x is constant. You're trying to play something tricky. So I'll compile this code. You can see the warning is still there, right? Compiler knows x is constant. You're trying to change that variable x by using a pointer, which is not recommended actually. But C is not very strict. Okay, C is not a very strict compiler. What are we getting? We're getting segmentation fault. Why we're getting the segmentation fault? Because that variable x is stored inside code segment. Now some people ask, is there a way to check which variable is stored in which segment? We're telling compiler will do this, compiler will store it, right? So how can we check this? Is there any way to check where a variable is stored after compilation? Any command is available. I'll show an example. There's a command called as num. We can use this command to check which variable is stored in which segment. So I'll put a comment so that you know. Use num command to check print symbol table. Program. Okay. Okay. So using this num command, you can check which variable is stored in which segment. So the syntax is nm and the program name. Okay, that's the syntax to run it. For that, let me create a simple program int, let's say g underscore count 1. Is equal to 5. Gz count 2 is not initialized. Okay, I'll keep it a little simple here. Int main. Let me say int x comma y. I'll say int maybe static count. It's a simple program. Now where will count 1 get stored? In which segment? Data segment, right? Similarly, count 2 will get stored inside DSS. Similarly, this static local count will also get stored inside data segment. What about x and y? They are stored inside stack. Okay, but x and y, it will be created only at runtime, so you will not see this. So hope this is clear. So we have 3 variables, which will be stored inside, like 2 variables will be stored inside data segment, count 1 and static local count, because they are initialized. Count 2 should get stored inside DSS. Let me also call a function. Let's say I'll define a function int foo. Okay, just for the sake of it. Some function. Or printf hello, let me do. All right. Okay, static is missing. Sorry, thanks. Static, I missed out. Yeah, thank you. So I'll compile this first. First, we need to compile GCC program name. Compile it. There's no error. I'll do nm and /a.out or a.exe. In my case, it's Windows. I get a.exe. So I'll run this. You can observe what happens. So it prints a table. This is called as symbol table. Okay. So every variable, as you know, will have an address, and every function will also have an address, right? Functions and variables are stored in some segment. So you should. So compiler will actually create a segment and store variables and functions in that specific segment. And if you want to find the address of those variables and functions, you can use this command. So I'll repeat the command: nm /program name. That's what we can do. Right. So can you check the variables? Right. You can see here. So what do you observe? G count 1 is stored inside which segment? D. Segment is marked as D. There is like different segments have different letters assigned. D stand for data segment. B stand for DSS. You can clearly see here that okay, first variable is stored inside data segment. G count 2, which is uninitialized, gets stored inside DSS. You can also see functions like main. Main is a function. T. What does T indicate? Which segment? Another name for code segment is text segment.
Text segment.
Yeah, text segment. So T is text segment. You can also see functions like printf, right? It's there in text segment and so on. You can also see we have this, right? You can observe this static local count, right? Do you observe this? It's stored inside data segment D. Now when we explain the concept of basically the segments, we keep it very simple to you. Right? We tell that 4 segments are there. But GCC in fact creates some more subsegments. Okay, GCC will create some more subsegments. For example, global data segment is different from location for local data segment, etc. It's a little complex. Okay, so let's not worry about it. So you'll see a lot of other things, okay, etc. Let's ignore that part for now. So, but you can clearly see that variable and the segment is marked here, right? You can see address is also given. This is not a real address because the program is not running it. It's a relative address. You also see a number here. Okay, so some people ask why it is giving a number. So number is typically used because you can have two variables with the same name in two different functions, right? Two variables with the same name and two different functions, two static variables. Now, how will the compiler differentiate? If the variable name is same, it just gives a number so that it can be differentiated. Okay, this is a trick which compiler uses, so that it can identify two variables with the same name. That is the way how compiler can differentiate between two different variables. D and D, don't worry. D means it is stored in global data segment. D indicates it's a global variable. Lowercase d indicates it's a static local variable. That's an indication actually. Okay, lowercase d means it is global. What is that variable? Sorry, uppercase d means it's global variable. Lowercase d means it's local static variable. That's what it is. These are indications actually. Is nm command used for debugging the code? No, nm is not used for debugging the code. Okay, nm is just to use to print the symbol table. For debugging, you have to use a command called as gdb. Debugger you have to use. Hope it's clear. That's no full form, it's just a command. It says namespace actually, and nm. List symbols from object file. It's just a command. The full form of the symbol is given here. Okay, you can see A, B, C. Lot of segments are there. Don't worry about it. Okay, you only try to understand the 4 segments. T, uppercase, lowercase, both means it's text segment. Any other question which I did not answer? Okay, next we'll move on. Could you open the previous code again? Okay, I'll open it. This code. Any questions? X and Y will not be visible in NM because X and Y is created at runtime. Let me show you one more thing. I'll create a constant variable. Okay. Compile this. nm hero.exe. Now let's run this. You can see here. So you can see here, right? Global constant. So global constant is marked as R. R indicates read-only segment. Okay. It's a read-only segment. local variables and heap you'll not see here. Okay, stack and heap you'll not see because this is after compilation. Why it's not T? Yeah, that's what I told you. When we explain it to students, we keep things very simple. We are telling that only 4 segments are there, but GCC will create many other segments actually, so that it can clearly differentiate between code and read-only data. So code segment is like kind of split into 2, you can say. One is like for specifically used to keep code, other is specifically used to keep constants, global constants and strings. Okay, again you'll find a lot of other segments, you can ignore it for now. Okay, yeah, somebody asked a question, is there a command to see stack variables? No, stack variables will only get created at runtime. No, you don't see it here. Okay, stack variables is not there in it is created at runtime. So typically you can generate assembly code and see how the code is generated. Okay, from which offset you can see the offset inside stack. Okay, from stack pointer, okay, variable will be stored here. You'll get references actually, but address will not be found here. When you run it, yeah, you can find the basically variables which are stored. Using a debugger you can find it. GDB command you can use at runtime, not after compilation. Okay, so we'll move on to the next topic. That was, yeah, so that is, I'll take another example with constant pointer, right? 0 to and this one. So what is constant here? Choice A, PTR is constant. Choice B, star PTR is constant. Yeah, choice A is correct, right? Here can observe where is star coming, right? Const PTR is declared as const PTR. So PTR is constant. Star PTR is not constant. That's what it means. So what does it mean? We cannot change PTR. We cannot change the address. That's what it means. Okay, we cannot change PTR. So which operations will be invalid? So for example, we cannot do PTR is equal to PTR plus 1, right? For example, cannot change PTR. For example, PTR plus plus is invalid, right? PTR is equal to ampersand some other variable. All these are invalid. But what is valid? These things are valid, right? I can change PTR, star PTR. Star PTR is equal to 10, right? We can do this. Star PTR plus plus. These are all valid. PTR of I is equal to something, etc. is valid, whereas these are invalid operations. So very simple. Just understand the difference between these two constant declarations. So in this case, PTR is constant. The previous example which I showed you, star PTR is constant. So here we cannot change the variable PTR, whereas in the previous case we cannot change star PTR. Okay, value which PTR is pointing to cannot be changed. So where is this used as a question? Okay, so typically when you talk about constant int star PTR, this is very commonly seen in which place? in function parameters, right? Function parameters to indicate it's an input parameter. We saw examples of string length, for example, right? String length, you're passing a string, which is an input, but you cannot change that input. Man str len, for example. We can see here, it's const char star str. So it indicates that, okay, star str cannot be changed. That's what it indicates. So that is a practical application of constant pointer, right? It's practically, it's used inside most common use cases to declare input parameter, which is passed using reference. That's a common use case. Now, what about the other one? Where is it used? So this one, int star const ptr. Can we declare like this? Is it good? Is it okay to do this? And later, can we do ptr is equal to something? Will this work? No, right? So this will not work because ptr cannot be changed. This will give a compilation error. Okay, it's not going to work. So what is mandatory for this type of pointer? It has to be initialized during declaration. That is mandatory, right? Otherwise, it will have some garbage address which we cannot change later also, right? So this type of pointer wherein ptr variable is constant should be initialized during declaration. So what is the use case of this? Where is it used? To store value in fixed memory address defined at time of declaration. So use case is mostly, so here we cannot change the address, right? It should point to a fixed address. These type of pointers should or will point to a fixed address, right? It's always pointing to the same location. It's not going to change. It's not going to point to some other location. For example, you cannot use it to point to an array. All right, array, for example, you want to increment, right? Next location you want to access. You cannot use it. So this is commonly used in microcontroller programming. All right, when you do hardware access, you use this. So let's assume we have in microcontrollers, you have something called as SFR, right? What is SFR? Anybody knows? Or you'll say special function registers, right? Or you can say, for example, registers. Not CPU register. There are some hard registers. So if you study microcontroller like this, special function registers, true, right? For example, you'll have many devices like LED. You may have devices like LCD, right? You may have a lot of other devices, right? So these devices, okay, very basic question. How do you access a peripheral or a device in microcontrollers? Let's say you want to access a device. How can you access a device? Using what? Through SFRs or using its address. You can access any device using what? Address. Okay, can be accessed. Every device will have an address. Unique address will be there. Okay, so that's why pointer concept is important for you guys, because when you do microcontroller programming, you will access the device using its address. So every device will have an address. Let's assume LED has an address 1000. I'm just taking a hypothetical example. Yeah, physical address, so unpertained. So LED has an address 1000. Like, let's assume. What you can do? You can define a pointer like this: int star const. I can say LED ptr is equal to 1000. Instead of int, maybe I can take something else, char also, not a problem. Just a byte. right? Something like this. So what do you see here? I defined a pointer variable, right? So you have a pointer variable called as LED pointer, which contains address 1000. Okay. So this in fact is pointing to the LED registers. It's going to point to what? LED registers. Now question here is, okay, we have an address of the LED. Will the address of LED ever change in embedded systems? Or is it always fixed? No, they never change, right? Because all hardware addresses will have fixed address. Now in this case, I can like confidently say that, okay, this LED pointer will have a fixed address. It is never going to change. Understood? So there is no point basically making it non-constant. We are having a register with a fixed address. So in such cases, this is how you have to declare the pointer. This is a recommended way to declare a pointer to a hardware register. So you are telling that, yeah, we have an address of a device which will never change. It's a standard practice with respect to hardware register, defining address of hardware registers. Now you can access it. Can you access it? For example, I can do star LED underscore PTR is equal to, let's say, 1. This is valid, right? Because star LED pointer is not constant. Address is constant. For example, when you do this, maybe LED may turn on, right? We know 0, 1 you have to put. Maybe LED will become on, off, depending upon how it is circuit is designed, right? So you can access the value at that address. We can change the value at that address. There is no restriction. But address itself we cannot change. So this is the use case of a pointer variable with address as constant. Now there is one more. What is the other one? There is one more type of declaration where both are constant, right? It's little advanced. You don't see it very often. Const in star PTR. Sorry. To degree will give here some register as some address. So typical address. Okay. Then 2 and star PTR are constant. So where do you see this use case? Is this scenario question, right? Where do you see this? So this is this type of pointers, right? Wherein you cannot change the value, neither you can change the address. Value cannot be changed and address cannot be changed. This is used to store address of read-only memory. Store address of read-only memory. Okay, it's an advanced code. Just be aware of it. Okay, you can store the address of read-only. For example, serial port read register you have. Okay, serial port you can read from serial port register. Okay, serial read register. So the significance of this register is that when data comes in the serial port, you can fetch the data, but you cannot modify the data. In such cases, such addresses can be stored inside this pointer. Okay, so that is the use case of this. All right. So 3 types of pointers you will see. One is star PTR is constant, other is PTR is constant, other is both are constant. Hope it's clear. Any questions you have? Or shall I move on? Okay. So next, let's talk about one more question that popped up was, okay, what is the difference between char star, maybe S1 is equal to I, and char array of, let's say, 5 is equal to I. Okay, what is the difference between these two? Let's assume both are inside a function, right? You're declaring these two in a function. What is type of S1? Is S1 a pointer or an array? S1 is a pointer, right? It's a character pointer. What about ARR? Is ARR a pointer or an array? Array, right? Where are these? Where is S1 stored? Where is ARR stored? Assuming both are local variables, where are they stored? I'm getting a lot of answers. Question I'll repeat, okay? Before answering, you listen to the question. Question is, in which segment memory is allocated for S1 or variable S1, right? Where is it getting stored? Variable ARR, where will it get stored? Saida says both in stack, both in stack. Okay, some are telling it's S1 is read-only segment, ARR is in stack. Okay, S1 is in code segment, ARR in stack. S1 in text segment, both in stack, Ashraf and Stevie say. Yeah, in stack. So correct answer is both are variables, by the way. Please understand this. Both are variables. S1 is a point variable, ARR is an array variable. And both these variables are stored inside stack. So if you look at diagram, it's going to look like this. Okay. Now stack. This is stack. Inside stack you have S1, which is a pointer, and this pointer is going to point to a string hi, and this hi is stored inside code segment, whereas this S1 is inside stack. Let's assume this has an address 1000, this 300. All right. What about ARR? Yeah, ARR is an array, right? Size 5, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ARR of 0 will be H, ARR of and 1 will be I. Remaining we don't care. 1, 2, 3. So both S1, right? S1 is stored inside stack. ARR is also stored inside stack. This is the memory organization. Any questions here? Is it clear? So S1 is also a variable. ARR is also a variable. Variables are stored inside stack. S1 is a pointer variable. ARR is a character array. S1 contains address of hi. Hi gets stored inside. Address of hi gets stored inside S1. Now these will have different addresses. We don't care about this address. This could be, for example, 2000. This could be 2008, assuming it's an 8-byte address. This will be 2009, 2010. So S1 is a pointer variable. What does pointer contain? Pointer contain address. That's all. Yeah. So this is null. Sorry, this is null pointer. Okay. Thanks, Sachin. So hi, and the last byte will be null character, right? In case of strings. So next question comes, can we modify S1 or star S1? Pooja, can you repeat your question? Can you modify S1 or star S1? Star S1. Oh, that's the question. Pooja's question is, can we change star S1? So let's try to change star S1. Let me do this. Star S1 is equal to, let's say, X. What will happen? So we are trying to change here code segment, which is read only, right? So can we change this? Can we put X here? This will not work. No, because it is read only. You get a segmentation fault, right? So anything which is inside code segment or read only segment cannot be changed. Next question is, can we change ARR of 0 is equal to X? Is this allowed? Yes, ARR of 0 is equal to X can be changed. Why? Which segment we are changing? This is ARR of 0, right? We are changing this variable X. Stack we are changing. So when you come across these type of questions, draw a picture. That's what I would recommend. Draw a picture and fill the boxes and see which variable is there in which segment. So stack, there is no problem, we can change. Code segment or read only segment, we cannot change. Next question, can we do this? S1 is equal to something else, let's say by. Is it allowed? What is S1? As a pointer, right? You guys are not thinking and getting many answers. No. Some are telling yes. Is it yes or no? Or confused? So Meghamala says we can do it. Sagar says no. Shankar says yes. Kavya says yes. Rupa says yes. Ganesh says yes. Arun, admin, I don't know who's admin. Nibin says no. Tapan says no. S1 is equal to by. What are we changing? Which variable are we changing? We are changing S1. We are changing this location. We are not changing star S1. Please understand this. Can you change S1 or not? Can you answer now? We are changing this location. Is this read only or can it be changed? Yes, we can change it. Okay, so we are not changing star S1. Okay, star S1 is not allowed. We cannot do this. This is invalid. We cannot change it. Whereas S1 can be changed. The question is, what will happen when you do this? Okay, let me erase. All right. So when I do S1 is equal to by, what is going to happen? So this S1 is getting changed. So BYE will be stored inside read-only segment, and address of BYV gets stored here. So let's assume this address is 500. So what is happening when you do S1 is equal to by? S1 is a pointer. Inside the pointer you store an address. Address is getting changed. We are not changing high here. We are just changing the variable S1. Variable S1 can be changed. Star S1 cannot be changed because whatever S1 is pointing to is stored inside read-only segment. So you cannot change read-only segment. So to make things much more clear, let me take another example. If you have any questions, you can ask always. Can I move on? Or you have any questions? This topic is a little confusing for people actually. Difference between char star and character array. Array we can change it, right? There is no I think confusion with respect to arrays. The confusion comes to talk about pointers. Rule: if pointer contains address of read-only memory, simple rule is we can change the read-only memory using the pointer. Now let me take another example. ARR is equal to, let's say, hello, something is there. Char star s is equal to ARR, right? Can we do this? Star s is equal to x. Is this allowed or not? Think and answer. Okay, directly you're answering no without drawing a picture. Assume everything is local. Doesn't matter. Local, global doesn't matter here. I'm getting many answers, no, yes as well. Those who are telling no, can you tell me the reason why this will not work? You have to give me a reason why star s cannot be changed. I want to understand what is your thought process. Then I can answer your question. So many people said we cannot change it. What is the reason? Why do you think we cannot change star s? Nasuddin says, as you told last time, star s is in read-only segment. I didn't say that. I didn't say star s in. So you're not checking this line number 2. You have to check line number 2, no? Without checking line number 2, how can you answer? What does S contain is the question. What does S contain? Whose address? Address of array it contains, right? S contains address of array. So let me draw the picture. You can compare this diagram with the previous diagram. So we have array ARR. It contains hello, H. E. E. L. L. O. No, this is ARR. So for those who said no, you have to tell me where is ARR stored. Then you have to answer yourself. Which segment is ARR stored? Array. This array ARR, where is it stored? Is it stored inside stack or not? Or is it stored inside code segment? This variable ARR array, where is it stored? Stack or it's an array. Change the array or not? Is it possible to can we change or not? Change the array or not? ARR of I is equal to something. Can we do or not? We can, right? Why can we change it? And it can be changed. It will have address. Okay, let's say 100 is the address. Now we'll say S. S is a pointer, right? What does S contain? It contains address 100. So S is pointing to what now? The question is, what about this now? When you do this, what gets changed? What is getting changed here? When you do it, A of 0 is getting changed and will become X. Is this allowed or not? Can we change it or not? Is it in code segment or is it in stack segment? X gets stored inside stack segment, right? It changed. It's allowed to change. Now, depending upon the declaration, the answer changes. You have to be careful. Okay, don't directly bluntly answer. Okay, we have some declaration like this, and this won't work. People think like that. So please understand, it depends upon what you are changing. If you are changing stack, it's allowed. If you're changing code segment, it's not allowed. So previous one, look at the previous declaration, it's completely different. You have to observe this. What you can see here. So observe here, we did like this. Declaration is different here. So this thing gets stored inside code segment. That's the problem creator. Okay. So here it's cast star s1 is equal to double quotes high. High gets stored inside code segment, and we cannot change high. Whereas in this case, S contains ARR. ARR is a local variable. We can change the local variable. Hope I answered your question. Any other questions you have? With string, we cannot change. That's not the answer, Ashraf. If it is read-only segment, we cannot change. If you are trying to modify stack segment, if you're trying to modify data segment, it's allowed. If pointer is containing address of stack segment, the pointer is containing address of what is that? Stack segment means local variable. If the pointer is containing address of global variable, yes, we can change it. If the pointer is containing address of code segment, then that pointer cannot change the value using its star PTR, for example. So I'll copy the quiz link. You can keep it. Don't take the quiz now. You can take it up later. What's your question, Tapan? You said why? Memory shared in code segment. Yeah, Shruti Shastri, that's also true. So quiz link I'll paste. Don't take it now. Okay, you can take it up later. Everybody can take it later. I think that's a wrong link. Sorry. Paste it again. So some more questions I have is like explain this type of question: star plus plus p, star p plus plus. Okay. Let me take an example. Let's say you have this const, no need of const, maybe char star ptr char array. Let me take first. Char star ptr is equal to arr. So what is star ptr plus plus? What is the value you will get? Let's say I print this. What will it print? It's going to fetch E or H only. So let's say I do star ptr. Before this, if I do star ptr, you get H, right? So what is this actually? Ptr star of ptr plus plus. Will we get E or will we get H is the question. Most of you are telling the value as E. Let me put this maybe star plus plus ptr. What about this? A and B. Gautam says, yeah, H because of post increment. That's correct. Okay, then it also says it's H. Stubby says A is H, B is E. Yeah, Saidas A is H, B is E. Okay, fine. So correct answer is H and E, right? This gives H and this gives E. So what is the reason? Because when you perform a post increment operation, here this is post increment, right? So what is the property of post increment operation? If you have an expression which contains a post increment operation, the value is not incremented immediately, right? Value gets incremented when the expression is evaluated. That's what it says, right? So for example, first it will do ptr plus plus, then it will do a star. That's how it's going to expand. But since this is post increment, address will not increment, right? Ptr plus plus will not happen immediately. First star ptr will be done, then ptr will get incremented. So to show this, duplicate this. Okay, so let me explain this first. So this will expand like this, right? So in this case, it becomes star of ptr plus plus, right? So when you say star of ptr plus plus, here we have array arr which contains hello, null pointer ptr is pointing to H. Let's assume this address is 100. Next is 101 and so on. So it's post increment. So this value will remain actually 100. It's not going to increment. It will not become 101. It will remain star of 100, which will be what? H. Next operation will be PTR will increment. PTR will become 101. So this one statement becomes two statements, in fact, internally. Okay, so if you print this, let's say you print star PTR plus plus, it's going to first dereference the value of PTR, then it's going to increment PTR. So PTR is not incremented first. That's the reason it becomes, the value will be H. Whereas if you do the other way around, what is the other way around? Star of plus plus PTR, this is straightforward, right? First PTR is incremented, then the value is fetched, then the output will be E. Okay. Any other question? Sometime back, I think Tapan asked some question whether codes segment constant strings, if it's duplicated, yeah, it's shared actually. You get shared. These are again compiler optimizations. So if you have two constant strings, char star s is equal to high and char star p is equal to high. Again, this answer will differ from compiler to compiler. S and p both are pointers, and initially for this line, high gets created in code segment. S will point to high. So when you create p, p is a variable. It is also going to point to high. So why will the compiler do this? Because compiler knows that, okay, high is in code segment, which is read only, and you cannot change it. So there is no point duplicating it. If you try to change high using star s or star p, anyway it throws a segmentation fault. So there is no point duplicating a constant string. So let me discuss about void pointers briefly now. Okay, so void pointer is also called as a generic pointer. Generic pointer. So why it's called as a generic pointer? Dhanush, star PTR plus plus percentage C star, what will be the output do, right? PTR plus plus PTR will increment, no? So PTR will point to E. So it should print E here, Dhanush. So void pointer is used to store address of, what is it? You store the address of any type, any data type. Okay, it can contain address of any memory location, right? So void pointer is called as generic pointer. So we can have a void pointer and we can store the address of any memory location in void pointer. So how do you use it? What are the limitations of void pointer? So first thing is it can contain any types address, right? Any variable types address it can contain. So what are the limitations of void pointer? What we cannot perform in void pointer? So we cannot dereference a void pointer, right? We cannot dereference a void pointer. What else we cannot do? Apart from not able to dereference, what else can we do? We cannot do. Yeah, Saidas, you're right. Pointer arithmetic. We cannot perform, cannot do pointer arithmetic. Okay, when you pointer arithmetic, I mean pointer addition, right? Subtraction is possible. No, subtraction is also not possible. Pointer arithmetic, addition, subtraction is not possible. We cannot point to null pointer. No, that's not correct. Okay, so I'll take some examples of how we can use a void pointer just to show you. So usage of void pointer. Let's say I'm having int x is equal to 10, right? Say int main Is this allowed? Can we do this? Can you dereference void pointer? No, right? We cannot dereference void pointer. This is not correct. So what is the correct way to do it? We have to typecast it. So we have to typecast it like this: int star. This is incorrect. Okay, this is typecast before dereferencing. That's what we need to do. So what happens when you do a typecast? So VPTR is converted to which type? Integer pointer, right? VPTR gets converted to integer pointer here, right? We are doing this, right? VPTR is converted to integer pointer. So VPTR becomes integer pointer. Integer pointer, when you dereference, what do we get? What do you get when you dereference an integer pointer? Yeah, integer value will get. So void pointer contains the address of an integer. That doesn't mean we can dereference it, right? We have to typecast the integer pointer, then we have to dereference it. So before dereferencing a void pointer, we have to typecast it. I'll show another example. Maybe we can correct it. So can we do this? VPTR is equal to VPTR plus 1, or can we do VPTR plus plus? Are they valid? So what is the correct way to do this? How do you increment a pointer? So we need to typecast, right? We can typecast like this: int star, for example, plus 1. Similarly, here we can do int star. Will this work? Line number 14, is it correct? So line number 11 is incorrect, right? Because we cannot perform pointer arithmetic. Okay, so this is okay, it's correct. What about this? Is this correct or wrong? So Nasruddin says no, it's not correct. We can typecast local variable, not a pointer. No. This is not correct. What should we do? So what's happening here? We have plus plus and we have typecasting. Both are unary operators. In case of unary operator, all unary operators have equal precedence, associativity will be right to left. So VPTR plus plus is first basically executed, then instar will happen. The correct way is to put another bracket, right? We need to put another bracket. First typecast, then increment. Okay, so these are some things you need to keep in mind before dereferencing a void pointer. Okay, so what about this? Let's say I do this VPTR of 1 is equal to something. How do you fix this? This is invalid. What is the correct way? Can somebody tell me? Line number. Okay. Will this work? Line number 16 is incorrect. What about line number 17? Is it a correct typecast or incorrect typecast? So you have two unary operators. One is square bracket, other is typecasting. Which one has higher precedence? Array indexing operator or typecasting operator? Which one has higher precedence? Array indexing or typecasting? Yeah, Nasruddin says array indexing has higher precedence. That means what? First dereference, then typecast. Is it okay? Array indexing has higher precedence, in fact, right? So this is not correct. This is also incorrect. What is the correct way? It's similar to this example actually. It's similar to the previous one here. That's important, right? So correct way is to do like this. Means first typecast. We are typecasting VPTR to integer pointer, then dereference it. First typecast, then dereference. That's the correct thing to do. All right. So these examples you can keep in mind before accessing a void pointer. It's about void pointer. Any questions you have? People have already answered even after telling not to take the test. Okay, fine. Okay, Sohan, you have a question. Why void? Size of void actually. The question should be size of void is 1 in GCC. Again, it's GCC specific, Sohan. So this is not standard actually. So ideally, you should not dereference a void pointer. Check the size of a void pointer. But in GCC, size of void is 1. If you take some other compiler, it may not be 1. These are compiler specific things. Do keep in mind that whatever rules we have put here, like dereferencing a void pointer not allowed and cannot do pointer arithmetic, right? This is with respect to any compiler. Now, the next topic is function pointer. but we are running out of time. So maybe we will schedule it for some other day. So Monday we don't have the session. Okay, Monday we have I'm having some other session. So I'll let you know when we will have the next interview prep session. All right. So for now, for this week, we are done. Next week's plan, we'll update you. So we are planning to start your regular classes through virtual, basically classrooms. So if you're like having microcontrollers, let's say data structures or Linux internals, etc., we'll tell you what is the plan going ahead. Shruti Shastri, okay, constant volatile. I can explain that. One last question I'll take. The question is usage of constant volatile together. I'll show an example. By the way, to understand this question, you should know what is volatile. What about lockdown holiday extension? Yeah, that's what we don't have clarity, right? Because it looks like in Karnataka, at least, they're going to extend it further, right? So we will continue to have these sessions till the lockdown basically is reviewed, right? Next again. So most likely it's getting extended, looks like, till 30th. That's what we are hearing. So we may will update you, but meanwhile we'll have these sessions regularly lined up. Yeah, we will let you know for all the batches, Arun. Okay, for ECEP as well as ECIP. And we'll maybe starting from Monday, we'll start your lab and irregular activities will start. We'll also basically start your virtual classroom sessions also. We'll let you know. Some of them will be virtual classroom. For example, microcontroller and data structures will be recorded sessions. So you can attend actually multiple modules also if you want. If you want, you can attend multiple modules. Shruti, maybe I'll answer you offline this question or I'll share you some links. Okay, I'm done for the day. Today actually a little exhausted. So I'll stop here. Maybe I'll send you some links so that you can look into it. Or we can discuss that later for the next session. So all of you please take up the test now, and hope you enjoyed these 5 days of session and you're able to basically learn a lot of things. Thank you. Quiz results are not yet announced. We'll announce it. So in the group mail, I will let you know about the quiz results. Vikram, can I join once again C class if you people held? Yeah, you can join again, Vikram, no problem. It's online.